Hey everybody, welcome to the SkyLounge. Here review some Seattle Seahawks action as we win and beat the Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Woo! Okay, that hurts. Still very hungover. I've been drinking since, 11 in the afternoon yesterday. So I am very tired, very hungover, but we're going to get through this, boys and girls. We're going to get through this just like the Seattle Seahawks went through this shit. And they got through it well. Let's talk about this guy. Cam Chancellor, the man who raised the 12th flag yesterday in Seattle. Fantastic to see that. You want to see shit like that. I mean, good God, the whole idea with Cam was he was retired, huge back problem, and what is it, back stenosis, whatever the hell that is. But it is a huge injury, so he had to retire. But for him to just stand up there, raise the 12 mess, I mean, it was awesome. It's really awesome to see that, and for him to just show appreciation too, man. It's so cool to watch as a fan. And speaking of cool to watch, let's talk about the actual fucking game, because this on the field product was actually pretty watchable today. Well, yesterday. Technically yesterday. I know, I said today. Fuck you. But second quarter. You start scoring in the second. You start scoring in the first half. I'm already a happy guy. I'm already a happy guy. So, in the second quarter, Jaron Brown gets the touchdown from Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, who, by the way, had a phenomenal day. We'll talk about him more in a little bit here. Dallas drives up, keeps continuing. But the thing is, early on, really, Dallas's offense had no juice. They just looked disorganized, disgruntled, and it really continued on. That whole mentality continued on. But despite their whole mentality, Seahawks kept their will strong, and in the second quarter, another fucking passing touchdown for Tyler Lockett, and this was a 52-yard pass from Russell Wilson, and I swear to God, you couldn't make this shit up. I was at the bar screaming my fucking head off. Getting glares, by the way. I'm like, why are you... I'm only screaming like a maniac. I don't know why everyone's looking at me funny. But Tyler Lockett, the fact that Doug Baldwin is in the lineup, I mean, this is your best receiver now. Your fucking wide receivers are so whittled down. Tyler Lockett is your best player. I'm not discounting Tyler at all. What I am saying though is no Doug Baldwin. Tyler stepping up. Tyler has stepped up, and I think he's going to continue to do so, and hopefully he continues to do so. And Sebastian Janikowski with the 47-yard field goal to end the first half. And I do have a thing on this. Sebastian Janikowski, under 45 yards, he'll probably miss that shit. Over 45 yards, take that shit to the fucking bank, kids. He's going to make that shit. And so we continue the third quarter with heavy defense, just all around heavy defense, because I believe this was a quarter where Earl Thomas got the 2 interceptions, and Dallas did compensate with the field goal. But again, you just have to start asking the question, man, Dallas, what are you guys doing? There are individual pieces in Dallas, I believe, are pretty phenomenal. I mean, Zeke being one of them. Zeke is a fucking stud. And unfortunately, the whole thing with Zeke is running backs generally have a very short career tendency. They have a very short career span, right? So don't waste his years. Dallas, don't waste Zeke. But they will. They are going to waste Zeke. And we're going to look back on this 2-3 years later oh, God, why didn't Dallas just trade off? Why didn't they just fucking not ruin this kid's career? But that was the thing. Dak gets the 2 interceptions. Earl looking good, despite all the rumors and gossips of him leaving and all this shit. And I hope Earl stays. For selfish reasons as a fan, I want him to stay, get that contract extension, and retire as a Seahawks. We fucking lift up that number 29 jersey a couple years later. Fantasy! All fantasy shit. Well, it wasn't fantasy, but what did help other people in the fantasy leagues, what a terrible segue, was the fourth quarter. Chris Carson, rushing touchdown. I mean, good Lord. The fourth quarter felt like a really good ground and pound game from my perspective. Something I haven't seen in a while. So it was kind of nice. Oh my God, they're rushing. Look at that, they're running. This is great. And this and despite the fact that yes, Dallas did get a touchdown at the very end, despite that, this was an excellent showing. This was an absolutely excellent showing. I mean, defense showed up, offense was clicking. Russell, I mean, when we're talking about Russell, guys, let's talk about Russell. 16 throws on 26 attempts, 192 yards, 2 touchdowns. And yes, for rushing yards, he got a negative. Compared to Dak. 168 yards, 19 out of 34. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. I know stats are relative, and they don't really mean anything. But if we talk about the last 3 games, I mean, Russell's Russell. Let's be honest about that, kids. I don't really care what your opinion is on Russell, but Russell's an elite quarterback. Whereas Dak, the frustration has to come in for Cowboys fans, right? And for mutual football fans, you just have to be looking at this kid like, come on, what's going on? When you had the weapons, you couldn't do it. Now you don't have the weapons. It's very visible and clear you can't do it. And so for the Dallas Cowboys, it's a loss. And that's fucking great because it's the Cowboys. And for the Seahawks, it's a win. We're 1-2 now, boys and girls. Hooray! And next week we are facing the Arizona Cardinals at Arizona. That's a trap game. That's a fucking trap game. So we got to be careful. Russell's got to be careful because Arizona showed up yesterday against the Chicago Bears. And to be fair, yes, Mitchell Trubisky, not a great quarterback. But hopefully Russell gets some protection next week. Continue to perform like this. And I'm hoping I'm wrong about my prediction on 8-8 or 7-9. I really am. So I'm hoping Russell Wilson, the Seattle Seahawks, show up, kick those fucking Cardinals' asses, and hopefully have a winning season. Let me know what you guys think. Follow me at the Sky Lounge on all the links in the description below. Like, comment, and subscribe for more daily contents. Now fuck off.